For 2,000 years, a road stretched from Chang'an, the capital of China, all the way across Central Asia and India to Europe. The road was called the Silk Road because at that time, silk was the most prized possession in all of Europe. The Silk Road wasn't a single highway that went from China to Europe. It also included many sea routes, and it touched most of the great civilizations of the time. As products like tea and silk and porcelain traveled across the road from China to Europe, ideas also traveled these roads. The famous book about emptiness ever is the Diamond Cutter Sutra. It also traveled up the Silk Road from India all the way to Chang'an, China. It was translated into the Chinese language there by Kumarajiva around 400 AD. The earliest Chinese version of this sutra is actually the oldest printed book in the world with a confirmable date. One of the most famous travelers of all on the Silk Road was Master Xuanzang. In 645 AD, Master Xuanzang came back from India with about 600 manuscripts, and he and his team, in the famous Wild Goose Pagoda, translated all of them into Chinese. In recent years, the information contained in these classics from China and the Silk Road has spread to many other countries. Researchers have begun to find ways to use these great ideas in the fields of business, economics, and science. Business, government, and social organizations all around the world are already using this great idea from the Silk Road to come up with creative new products and services. Here's an architect from Argentina who made millions of dollars by using this great idea from the Diamond Cutter Sutra in order to come up with new kinds of housing for elderly people. In the realm of science, the classics of the Silk Road can solve some of the toughest questions of modern physics. For example, that idea of emptiness can help solve the apparent paradox which is contained in the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Here you see a German astrophysicist offering a copy of a modern interpretation of the Diamond Cutter Sutra to German Chancellor Angela Merkel at the famous Greifswald Observatory. These kinds of breakthroughs in business and science can only occur if the great books of the Silk Road are found, preserved, translated, and brought to the modern world. During recent years, the government of China has announced two important projects that relate to this ancient Silk Road. The first project is called One Belt, One Road, or you could say the New Silk Road. This is an economic collaboration which will build railroads, highways, and sea routes to connect all the major countries between Asia and Europe. This will increase trade and prosperity among almost half of the world's population. The second project is called the AIIB, which means the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. This is a new global bank supported by over 57 major countries of the world, including most of the Western powers. One of the goals of the bank is to supply funding for the new Silk Road. The initial capitalization of this bank is over $100 billion. Similar projects are being undertaken by other countries to bring the countries of Asia and the rest of the world closer together. We believe that along the new Silk Road, these great ideas will help make the whole world peaceful and prosperous.